So, hello guys. Today we're doing something a little different. This is going to be the start of a different series where I'm going to be making a ship that's primarily to test things. So, like when I say this is the first episode, and all it is making the test ship, and there's going to be two variants of it, but we're just going to make one variant for today. So all I need is some basic stuff. You'll see me make probably like a small diesel. It's not gonna look good or anything. It's not gonna be anything special. The next time you see it, it might look a little different, all things considered. Because it will probably need some changes. So, I'm gonna start here. The big ramble. You'll notice I have this in the destroyer plot. I have to make this a fairly decent sized vessel. Fairly decently sized vessel. And because I want to, it's going to be pre-dredge style. But I can't be over the destroyer size limit. That's something I know for a fact. So we're going to start like this. And you might notice I'm making it fairly wide. I'm not giving it a super fine hull profile, but that's not what this is meant to do. So the entire reason it's so frickin' tall and it looks so bulky is very, very simple. I need a ship to test armor, guns, whatever I physically can on it. So it needs to be a fairly big vessel size-wise. I can't have it be small, but I need it to fit in destroyer stuff so I can go into the test realm and do everything very quickly. Maybe something a little more. I still want it to look decent though. I'm not ever gonna make a ship that I think looks bad. Or well, let me rephrase that. I'm never gonna purposely make a ship that looks bad. It still needs to have use, you know. And it still needs to look decent. No. Yeah, this thing is fairly tall. Pretty basic. It's been a while since I've actually made. You might be asking why I have why the freeboard is so high. It's because we need the displacement for what I am doing. I'm sorry that I just keep saying what I'm doing, but it's pretty hard to put into words, even after I've thought about it for a while. What this ship is going to be is very simply, it's going to look like a pre-dreadnought, kind of. I know that much. I can do it like that, okay. But I need a lot of displacement in order to do this correctly. So I might do, yeah, that. That's better. That's better. All right. So it needs to be fairly large for what I can fit in a destroyer plot, that is. Meaning it has to be pretty wide. I don't really care about, give me a second, my brain's stuttering. I don't really care about how fast it goes. It's probably going to go like 14 knots at most. It does need to be big, though, so I can fit a pretty decent slab side on it. Something like that. Hold up. How long is this? So we have 6, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I know the shape. Right? No. It's actually... yeah. Give it a little bit of a tumble home. It needs to be decently long, just so I can fit more air in it. And hold up, I have Aurora's plans, don't I? So I can go look at those if I want a little bit of inspiration. But for dirt, there it is. Alright, I can actually change this shape up a bunch. I'm going to change the shape up a bunch, of the bow at least. So I'm looking at it, I forgot that I could do that with how it's shaped. When I say that, I'm sorry. I keep saying that like you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh. No, 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 Say is out here being wild, wacky. I can raise this up a couple though, just to keep that there. It makes my job easier. So yes, this thing is a very tall vessel. It's not fast. It's probably not going to be particularly good at anything, to be completely fair. But it doesn't need to, because all it has to be good at is being a test platform. That's its only purpose. So we'll do 2, 1. Okay, that looks a little goofy. Anything, it should be like that. Pull that in. Keep the water line fairly similar to where I had it. Sorry, I'm constantly looking back at my reference. Yeah, keep the water line like right here. Can pull that back. Yeah, there we go. That's actually a decent shape now. I could do a flatter shape, but I'm not going to. Could do that though. Something like that. Actually, I don't want to really raise the vessel too much, so it's going to have a high water line. Like that. Yeah. It's a pretty deep draft vessel. And it actually means I didn't have to add this one section right here. 2, 2, 3. There. Yeah. And don't worry, it's not going to be super ugly. I promise I'm not going to try to make this thing super ugly. Okay, make this length like that. Oh, wait, I forgot to do this part. Okay. So what is that at? 5, 4, 3. That's 5, so 6. And for the purposes of how this is built, I do need a fairly long broadside. Something like that. I think that's as long as it's going to get. It's not going to be super big, all things considered. It doesn't need to be very big. Make this section like 8. It's going to have a more rounded aft, I think. 4, 2, 1. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's fine. A little weird on the profile, but that's okay. I could always shorten it. Yeah, I'm going to shorten it real quick. Just to look a little more normal. So it'll be 7, 5. This should be 3, then 1, then 1, then flat. There we go. All right. With the profile done, the basic profile at least. How tall is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. I could make that one taller. Something like that. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry that I keep changing the profile. I'm not trying to make this video very long. It shouldn't be super long, all things considered, when it's done. But it might be a little long. But the entire purpose is to make a testbed ship. Which is why I'm willing to make it taller. Because I need a ship that's tall enough. I need a ship that has a lot of space, you know? So I'll keep the height the same, like that. Because I think that's probably enough for the waterline, all things considered. So there is a specific way I'm going to lay this thing out. And I think the version I'll be building today is going to be the gun test platform. The other version, I'm not going to show building because it's going to be me just pulling stuff out, lightning, making some of it out of turning some of it into glass, that is. It's nothing super fancy or interesting. Ooh, I screwed that up. Interesting, interesting. I screwed that up again. Yeah, this thing's pretty wide. It shouldn't have flotation issues, even when I test it, but, you know, it might. Yeah, and I'll probably test if it floats right or not off screen. That's not really something you need to see here. This is just me going over the basics of what this ship's designed for. And I should actually explain a little better. So the entire purpose of this design is to be a test bed. So I can convert this version very quickly into more test-based ship, you know? Less, I'm sorry that I keep changing this, by the way. But more of a thing to test how other stuff works, not really itself a ship to use in combat. It's not going to be particularly tough. The hull profile is god-awful for speed. Just looking at how it is right now. It's extremely wide, not very long. But hey, that was the point. Alright. Nah, it's fine like this, I think. And here, superstructure start right there. Because this just needs to fit the forward gun right here. So I could push it back a little more, like right there, I guess. Yeah. This thing is big, to say the least. Width-wise, that is. It's not going to be the world's most beautiful looking ship. By any standards, I don't think. But it's going to work. For our purposes, that's all that matters. Alright. Should probably finish this this part first, to be honest. Something like that. And then have that go back at this. No. There. One. And it's gonna be this kind of more flat look for a second. I did not give myself enough space right here. That's my fault. But it's too late to change it. Late to change it, so might as well go with what we got. Which I know is a little goofy, but it happens. Rain, however, should not happen. Alright, here we go. Now we'll probably have some whole shape variants. Like I said, this is probably not going to be the prettiest of vessels. It's going to work, and that's all that matters. So it's getting a decent shape. Not my best, but it is some. Like that. There we go. I do need to add this part. Oh, I raised the water line. I keep forgetting that. Probably why it looks a little weird. Like that. Maybe something like that. Yeah, there we go. Maybe I should set it back a bit. I'll push it back like 4 blocks. How long is that from the 7? So right here. I could probably actually improve this shape a little bit. A gentler curve, I guess. Something like that is fine. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. Hull shape from the front is done. Probably one of the quickest I've ever done that. A little weird. Not the most normal hull profile I've ever made, but that's okay. We'll change something a little up right there. Yeah, that's better. Alright, time to do the rear profile. Should be fairly easy, all things considered. Black. Red slab there. Not flat yet here. Toning out here. Flat here. Actually, I think the water line's wrong. It is. Hold. I could actually lower the water line one, and that might actually change things a little bit, how it looks. Or I could just do the same thing I did with that side and raise it. Yeah, this thing has a very, very high water line. But again, that's on purpose. So no need to sweat it. Yeah, something like that's probably better. Yeah, as you can tell, this is pretty sharp. Pretty sharp bottom. Although it is following this principle pretty well. Well, no, it's not. Eh, whatever. Remember to always repeat twos. That's my the thing. I like to repeat the twos. I should probably do it like that. Yeah, this is a little weird of a shape. I could actually fix it if I flattened it out a bit like that. I didn't have to delete that. Yeah, that's fine. How long have I been recording? 30 minutes. Yeah. That fixes it. There we go. Always look for the solution. Although it does get sharp pretty quick. So probably not what we want. I don't think we want it to get that sharp that quick. Because again, this is kind of like a pre-Dreadnought style hull. They're not super known for being, tailored to being super sharp. There we go. That's a little better. Not great, but an improvement. Yeah, that's fine, actually. Ooh, I missed one. Yeah, and you need to be a little more flat than this guy. Hmm. Maybe this is the right move. No, there's already two there. Maybe three. Yeah. I think that might fix our little problem. A little bit. So let's see. One, Have a 2 there. 2. I didn't need to do that. 2. 3. Okay, that's fine. So, okay. To get the conversation back going with you guys, I wonder what you guys want to name this thing. What do you guys want to have a name for this, right? So, what do you want to name it? That's going to be my comment for you guys to leave me is what you want to see this thing named as, because I don't know what I'm going to name it. I didn't think of that until now, you know? Something like that. So let's see, 2. Yeah, there. That fits. Okay. That doesn't. That's where you come in with the... that. That works. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, I guess. They can always say that. I don't mind if y'all troll me, I guess, a little bit. No harm. Nah, that's a lie. Harm did come from trolling. No harm came to me from it, is, I think, the better use of it there. 2, 3. Ooh, that's nice. That's perfect. Meaning I think I did the ship right. Yep. Meaning I can do this. Actually, because of this, it's like kind of like that shape-wise. It's 2, 2, 3, 3. Ooh, 3. Oh, that's perfect. And I can just go like that for the very bottom. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I will definitely say this ship is not my biggest looker. It doesn't need to be, though. And while I'm here, I can actually fix some stuff. Yeah. Something like that. There we go. Yeah, it's a weird little shape. But it works. Alright, time to fill everything in. And then we're going to do the engines. And that's about it, other than the superstructure. Which, because I said this was the gun version, I'm going to have to do a decent amount of. Oop. So right here, I need to... Okay, there's the center right... Ooh, this has a center. Nice. Meaning I can do... that. Oh, no, that doesn't look as good. Oop. Oop. I screwed that up. It's that. Yeah, that's not going to be a very big turret, but... I can actually make that bigger. I think I have enough space. I didn't need to do that. Yeah, that looks better too, anyway. Yeah, this thing is weird. I know it's weird. I know it's not like my most functional design. Doesn't have to be. Sometimes you do gotta build stuff that you just want to look at. And something that looks nice. Sometimes, you know? So we'll probably... I think the way I'm gonna do it is I'm probably gonna put a... Ooh, yeah. Probably gonna put like a... Just to make it easy. I'm gonna do some very basic compartmentalization, except in the center, which will make it easier for me, at least, to design this thing for when I'm doing torque protection tests. You know what? I can make this bow look a little better. Oh, wait. That went down the drain. That didn't. Okay. Good enough. Ah, that's what I was looking for. Forgot what block I was looking for a sec. Alright, so let me explain how this is going to be laid out. Because I'm now to the point where I can, and it will make a little more sense. Okay. So this front area is going to have the forward gun. The forward gun in every single test is going to be the largest gun. That'll make it easier for me and you guys to always track, hey, which gun here is the biggest when we're testing gunner. I will also have holes poked in here just in case I need to test something with casemates, or maybe, just maybe, I'm testing the durability of the ship and I want it to go a little faster. That's weird looking. That is super weird looking. I just realized why. It's still really weird looking, but nonetheless. I'm sorry that I keep stopping to jig around the design. I still like my designs at least looking somewhat good. Nah. Put a slab back. Even if they don't look perfect. Like, that's just wonky. Maybe here? Maybe something like that. And then a full block there. Nah, still looks goofy. I'll just go with the goofy look. Yeah, that's fine. Just looks goofy because of that block. That was not a joke, apparently. Interesting. Oh, sorry, I'm getting off track again. Anyhow. Yeah, so that's kind of what the point of this is. Is just as a test ship. That's all it's used for. You won't see me taking this thing out to battle some guy. Nothing like that. That's not what it's designed for. Probably won't even do that well in that kind of a scenario. Do something like that. No. That's just tragic. I could do these. That's too far forward. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I keep getting distracted. It happens, I guess. Full block that, though. Yeah, that does look a little better. That has just gotten rid of the frickin'... There, that's good enough. Good enough. Passable. For now, anyway. I probably should have made that too long. Anyhow. Yeah, the front of this thing will look a little goofy, but the rest will look fine. So, this is the gunnery platform. I've said this before, and the difference with this one is going to be that it is going to be completely out of STS, which is what I'm using to build it right now. It is also going to only have a spot for 2 engines. They're going to be very dinky. They're going to be, I think, 20. If I remember how I wanted to do it, it was 20 block diesels that aren't going to look anything special. I'm not here building this to show you guys, hey, this is how you build this. No, this is more of a, this is how you build this for looks. Yeah, that's not what this. The point of this is not that. It's not going to help you make your ships look any better. I usually like to do. I mean, I don't think that's applicable for this certain scenario this is designed for. I'll just do that. Yeah, that's fine. There's going to be fuel. Things I do know I will need space for is a fuel blocks just to get it where I need it to go. It's going to have a superstructure just because it wouldn't look right without a superstructure. And yeah, it's not going to be anything too great. But the main point of this series is not to build this ship. Sorry that I keep rambling, but that's not the point. The point of the series is to test ships' systems, see what systems work the best, see the negatives and positives of using these systems, all that kind of stuff. Moreover, not really, oh, it look nice. Cause yeah, I mean it's not very hard to get something to look nice if you really try. We're actually gonna do. I'm gonna keep the two back there, but not here yet. That's gonna be for the next level. Can do it for the corner actually. Thinking about it. Nah, not yet. Because of that flat one, it's better to keep the corner there for this, and then here. Something like, something a little like this, I guess? It takes up a lot of deck space, but I don't care. It's part of the fun, I guess. Why am I giving it this little rounded profile kind of thing? I don't really know. Let's give it a little more look. Pizzazz. Alright, there we go. So, with all that said and done, this is going to be a little interesting of an area. I think I'll have my funnels here. Yeah. Alright, so let's get this floor in first. There's a very quick way to do this, but I forgot how to do it, so I'm just going to do it this way. And this one's not going to have torque protection. This version is not for that. I'm actually going to flatten this out a lot. Yeah, that's fun. It has a kind of interesting shape, actually. Yeah, there we go. Alright. With all of that done, what do I do on this side? Like that, okay. Alright. With all that done, that's actually going to be really easy to divide torque protection for. I have to first throw in a forward barbette. They're all I'm going to use the same size gun for each, the same turret. It's not really where, like, for, again, it's not a very look-based thing, it's just function. Do I like it if it looks good? Yeah, but it's not the point. And despite that, I am still going to take the time to try and make it look decent. Not great by any standards, but decent. Don't know what I want to mount it with for now, but I'll probably just stick to that. Yeah, that's fine. Just needs to have recoil space. So if there's 2 breech blocks, yeah, it will have space to recoil. Something like that. There. These guys, I already know how I want this one shaped. That is something I forgot about. Oh, might have to change the shape of this a little bit, because I forgot. Alright. I know what to do. Oh, that's max width. Something like this, maybe? And then I can do that. Yeah. Just gotta make sure everything's perfect. Ta-da! There. And we can go back to this. To separate the gun from the turret. I'm just gonna do that. Nope. I need a trapdoor again. You might say, yeah, these turrets are tiny, but it's just how it goes. And how are you gonna fit a like a larger gun in these things? I'm gonna keep the back off. That's how I'm gonna make these work. for now, this is probably going to be 6. I just need to put this here so I can fit the top of it. Three, 4, 5, 6. That looks fine, actually. And the rear gun is almost always going to be the smallest, but it will have a similar turret to the front gun. And that reminded me I can use those stairs instead. It would probably look better. And the last thing I am going to build on this specific recording is probably just show you guys how I'm going to compartmentalize it. There's nothing, like, super complex about this. Let's see, there was two block space, 2 block. It's not like it's very hard to build something like this. It takes 20 minutes. If you're not trying to drone on like I do. And some of the better builders out there can probably build it a lot faster than I did this video. But hey, everyone has their paces. I used to be a very, very fast builder. I've slowed down recently because I like taking my time. You take a little bit of time, it shows. There we go. And then for the final part, add some quartz down here. Add some quartz. Doesn't mean I have to put the sign. Yeah, the breach is gonna stick out there. I don't really mind. It's not like this thing's tough. And for now, the back one will be a 5 because I'm lazy. And I am actually trying to get this done in a decent amount of time. It's already longer than I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to be an hour. Let's breach there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trapdoor its roof. Not like that, right there. Yeah, that's fine. And then the front one, I'll make an 11-inch gun, or a 10. Oop. Heavy reach. Where are you? There you are. One, 2, 3. All right. This is a pretty bare bones design, all things considered. So we'll give it its compartments, which are going to be very, very, very simple. I'm going to use diorite, or well, no, white STS, to show you how I'm going to compartmentalize this. So because this is designed the way it is, here we go. And you'll notice I'm not going to be protecting anything. It's not going to be tough because I don't really care about that on this design. And the big compartmentalizations there just to fit everything, essentially. I might add an interior at some point, and I would like you guys to well, tell me if you want an interior at some point. But for now, it's just going to be that with a real basic big ol' fuel. I can actually do this quicker. Bam. It is a test ship. I do want it to stick out a little bit. So we're probably going to do the Russian style looks to this deck. Just because I like it. I actually like how they have that red to it. But first, before I get distracted too much, let us come back and finish the compartmentalization. So yeah, the first engine should end up here. And you're gonna notice I'm not actually going to put any of the actual compartments up. You might ask why. Seems like it would be pretty useful. But no, because again, I have to have two versions of the ship. One version will have no guns. One of these, I'll probably post an image of it after the upload, or maybe I'll show you on Friday. Maybe I'll do it on Friday as part of the stream. Although I've been trying to dedicate that to the carrier, so unlikely. And there. And right here will just be where I store ammo for now, because I'm already here. And these two sections will be for the engines right now, so engine block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is a bit funky. It's one longer in that section. Interesting. Yeah, so pipe, air shaft. I'll do a double. Just because they look a little better. So like that. This one will come back. Needs to be level. There we go. Yeah, we're just gonna finish the basic aesthetics for this. I've been recording for too long anyway. For what this is anyway, at least. So yeah, very big compartments. This one's almost always going to have fuel. No matter the version of the ship it's on, this one's just going to be a big fuel compartment. It shouldn't need much fuel. But at some point, we are going to have to do fuel tests, so... While I'm here... Heavy ammo and powder. For the, for that gun right there. So, bam, 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 bam. Something like that. And I'm not going to really mess with this stuff much more than how I have it here. Other than for the, for the engine variant, it's going to be a little bit different. But that's the basic compartmentalization idea behind this. It's not very compartmentalized. It doesn't have to be. And as a bonus, it means we're going to have a lot more displacement to play around with bigger guns when we're testing guns and when we're testing the engines, since these are going to be glass from all the way from here to back and from the forward superstructure area to forward. That's going to be all glass. It's not going to have a gun on it. So that's going to be a lot more easy to deal with. And I'm sorry if this video seems a little more incoherent. The next ones will be more coherent. I guarantee they will be. The next set in this series will be way easier to understand. It's not going to be just me babbling, because I have actual stuff to talk about there. But for now, I just kind of have this rinky-dink build to show you, hey, this is going to be one of the test ships. This is specifically the gun one. Again, I'm sorry that I keep hammering on about that, but, you know. Sometimes you want to make sure people understand you know what you're talking about. Well, not really know what I'm talking about, but at least understand that I have been repeating myself. Yeah, we'll do it like that. It does help to make it bright, too, so people understand it's a test ship and not an actual active combat vessel. Yeah, so we're just putting the deck down. And I'm gonna add some stuff to the funnel, and that's about it. Give it the same design for both. I haven't put any of the signs down, because those are going to change depending on what you're doing. Alright, time for one last area to get the deck onto. Then I'll flip it over. What I'm going to do is probably by here have... Yeah, right here I'll add this real quickly. Still over here. By this gun, actually, is going to be just big glass trapdoor so I can get in very easily. I wish sometimes I like having more coherent videos, and sometimes I like having videos like these where I can talk a little more, talk about the plans that I'm doing for this channel. So this will be a fun series. Overall, the series itself will be testing the mechanics of this server, Naval High Caliber's equipment, and seeing which equipment actually does best in what ways. So, for example, and I think I harped on about this in the last episode, but I don't care. At this point, I think you guys are fine with me harping on to something. But, we're going to be doing, I think the first tests I want to try are engine trials. The next ones are going to be gun effectiveness. I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on that when I do the next videos. I want the next ones to be trying out hydroelectric. I mean not hydroelectric, turboelectric versus steam. I mean normal steam turbines, diesel electric versus diesels, that kind of stuff. And that's not going to be about specifically. That is not going to be about uh, engine efficiency, so don't expect me to pull up how efficient the engines are, because when I say engine efficiency, I mean fuel efficiency specifically, not not engine efficiency, like I said. And the point of that is going to see, hey, maybe you want to use hydroelectric on something. It might be viable for this certain size of ship based on its horsepower output at certain sizes, etc. Just finishing up the funnels here, and we're going to be over. So I would like you guys to subscribe, and I know not many people are going to watch this thing whole way through, but so those that do, nice, good job. That's actually pretty cool. And for those of you who are still watching, I would like you to subscribe, because I'm going to be posting videos like this. Well, not like this one specifically, but I will be posting videos for this series every Wednesday. My Sunday, Monday posts are still going to be a thing, and my Friday streams, they're going to exist, but they're going to be shorter because of college. So yeah, we got this wild little thing here. No superstructure at all, but it doesn't really need it. And let me get this thing flipped. And there we go. Look at this little... Ooh, I missed something. Well, I can fix that manually. It's going to take a sec, but I'll fix it manually. That was an accident. Oh, and I might start posting images of like cutaways from my ships. So I think that might be cool. Like ships I've actually already completed, not just this kind of ship. So let me get the slab. Ooh. It was 3, right? Yeah. It's not healthy for the turret. Yeah, this thing is a bit weird. It's kind of like a pre-dreadnought. It's kind of not. I don't know what it is really, looking at it. But anyhow, I do want you guys to leave a comment with to name it. I'll probably add some superstructure at some point. I just wanted to get this finished up, though. Probably a good idea to end it in less than an hour and 30 minutes. So, yeah, I want to hear name suggestions for this thing. It is goofy. It is large. Well, large width-wise, I guess. Not very long. Definitely has a very high freeboard. Not a very high freeboard, a very high draft. So, I don't know. You guys can probably come up with some weird name. It's fun. You know? I trust y'all. Although I probably shouldn't. So there we go. That's this guy's pretty much done over shape-wise, at least. And I think I will see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed. Like always, remember to comment, like, subscribe, all that basic stuff that is really annoying to hear over and over again, but I'll say it anyway. Anyhow, thank you guys all for watching. It's been great. I'll catch you guys next time.